So good morning everyone, my name is Lalit Soni and you are watching Drishti IAS. In this live session, we'll be discussing the Indian Express newspaper. So let's start our discussion over here. We'll be starting with the fact of the day. After that, we'll be moving to the geography through maps section, and then here you will be seeing important articles, that is annual status of education report, that is generally known as ASER report. Okay, so that is important for our examination. So we'll be seeing that there are some of the data which you can use in your examination. So that is why we are discussing this ASER report, that is basically you can say surveyed, or you can say published by Pratham NGO. Okay, so that is there. Coming to the next one, why DeepSeek is a concern. Now, what is DeepSeek? We'll see, and why it is a concern. It is not just a concern for USA; it is also a concern for India or other countries who are trying to have a sway in the technology sector. Okay, so we'll be talking about that, and then moving further, Greenland turning brown. We'll be seeing that why is that the lakes of Greenland are turning brown. So what are the impact of it? All these things we'll be seeing. Other than that, also we'll also look into some of the articles which are related to IR, or when we are talking about the Donald Trump, he has said something else with respect to the tariffs, putting tariffs on India as well. So we'll be talking about that as well. Okay, other than that, there was a judgment from the Supreme Court with respect to the DNA test, so we'll be talking about that as well. Okay, so all these things we'll be discussing today, and in the end there will be a for your own read, one article will be there that is also related to ASER report. Since we are looking into this article over here, if you skip that article, that won't be a problem. Okay, so let's move further. Explanation for the practice question, the questions which was given to you in the last class, we'll be discussing that, and in the end there will be a practice question for today's session. Okay, now let's move further. We are offering ISGS foundation course for prelims as well as mains in the offline batch format, and batches are starting for English medium as well as Hindi medium. For English medium, the date is 17th of February. For Hindi medium, that is 21st of February. You can call on this number to get yourself enrolled, that is 87501 87501, or you can directly visit the center as well. Okay, now let's start with the first section, that is fact of the day. Now there is this scheme, that is PM-YASASVI. Okay, now recently we are talking about this particular scheme because now you know that government schemes are quite important for our examination, and since it was in news, so we are talking about it. Other than that, also now since budget is around the corner, economic survey will be around the corner, so government schemes are very imperative for us to go through. So let's see. PM Young Achievers Scholarship Award Scheme for Vibrant India for OBCs and others. PM Yashasvi is an umbrella scheme designed for OBC, EBC and DNT students by combining the existing scholarship scheme and hostel scheme. So basically what they are doing is they are coming up with the umbrella scheme under which scholarship schemes, accommodation schemes will be there. Okay, the initiative aims to provide economically weaker families, children financial support so that they can receive a high quality education. So that is the idea behind the scheme. Here are some of the specifics which is given. It is launched by the Ministry of Social Justice and the Empowerment. It provides financial aid, which we have already seen, for the quality education to the marginalized student. Okay, or you can say those who are from the financially weaker sections. Eligibility, if we talk about, it is for open for the OBCs, economically backward sections, and DNT students with income up to 2.5 lakh rupees per annum. Okay, so that is one condition which is there, which you need to know. Other than that, if we talk about as I already told you that it is an umbrella scheme under which there will be various scheme covers. So here there is this pre-matric scholarship which is there, rupees 4,000 annual academics allowance will be given to the families with income below 2.5 lakh, which we have already seen. Then coming to the post-matric scholarship, so rupees 5,000 will be given under over here, 5,000 to 20,000 depending upon the course category. Okay, after that, the top college students will be getting full financial support with respect to the tuition fees, living expenses, education facilities, etc. Then coming to the next one, accommodation facility near the government schools and the institution will also be provided. So there are, you can see, the financial support is also there. Then your education related material will, etc. also will be provided, and accommodation will also be provided. So we can say that PM Yashasvi is an umbrella scheme under which all these factors are covered. Okay, now coming to the next one. Yesterday we have talked about the Ganga river system. Okay, we have seen that there are various streams which comes Bhagirathi and then Alaknanda, they meet and then they form Ganga river. Okay, similarly today we will be talking about the another part, that is your Brahmaputra river basin. Okay, now when we are talking about the Brahmaputra, this is also originating from the Tibet area. So in that particular area, that is your Tibet, it is known as the Yarlung Sangpo. Okay, Yarlung Sangpo, and after that around, somewhere around Arunachal Pradesh and above, there will be a U-turn. Okay, that is called as the U-turn, which is taken by the Brahmaputra river. This is also called as the Great Bend. Great Bend. Okay, so after this taking this great band, it will be entering into India and it will be entering into Assam, and there for a while it is known as Siang river, and then it will be merging with the Brahmaputra river, and then it will flow in Assam, and then after that it will be going to the Bangladesh, then ultimately into the Bay of Bengal. Okay, so that is the course of the river. Now there are various other rivers which are there, like when we are talking about the tributaries over here. So we have Manas, we have Tista, we have Subansiri, we have Lohit, we have Barak. All these rivers are there. Okay, so you can remember all these things. Other than that, this particular map is giving you a specific idea. Okay, so there is this Chemyongdang glacier which is there from where it is originating, and then it is called as the Yarlung Sangpo. After that, you will be seeing that it is entering into Arunachal Pradesh, where it is called as Siang river, and then it is merging with the Lohit, and here you can see Subansiri is there, that is the north bank territory, and then south bank territory is your Dhansiri. Okay, after that there is Kapili, and here you can see there is Manas, there is Tista. Okay, and you will be seeing that Ganga and Brahmaputra are basically merging with each other. Okay, and then it will be flowing in the you can say Bangladesh. Okay, so that is there about the rivers with respect to the Brahmaputra basin. These are some of the important rivers which you should remember, that is your Tista, Manas, Subansiri. These are the north bank territories, and sorry, north bank tributaries, and then Dhansiri, Lohit, Divang, these are your Kapili, these are south bank territories. Okay, so let's move further and start with the today's discussion, that is basically sharp gain in reading and the mathematical learning. Okay, so basically when we are talking about the ASER report, that there is this NGO Pratham, they have started to survey the quality of education on the basis of two things: learning outputs and the enrollment as well. Okay, and you can say this is one of the largest survey which is there, or you can say largest survey which is done by a civic body. Okay, and it is not from the government side, it is an NGO which is doing it, and it is generally done in the, you can say, rural Indias, and then it is a household based survey as well. So this is there. So annual status of education report shows green shoots, sharp gain in reading and math learning level in school across the states since COVID lump. In the COVID time, you know that schools were actually closed at that point of time. That is why in the year 2022, you will be seeing that there was a decline. Okay, in 2018 there was an increase, that is somewhere around 27.3% which was there, and then after that you will be seeing that there was a decline, that is 20.5%, and after that in 2024 now we are saying that we are going back to the normalcy, that is 27.1%, because now schools are open, and other than that also digital learning is also being promoted. So that is why we are saying that there is a, you can say, positive shoot which has been seen over here. We will be discussing this graph in the next slide. Here you can say behind student uptake, government's NEP, that is National Education Policy, push new energy in 2022. Since 2005, NGO Pratham has released an annual status of education report, that is rural, to measure basic reading and the arithmetic levels among the students or the school children's attendance in the school and other indicators. So as I told you, first is your learning output, and then there will be attendance and other indicators like enrollment, etc., that has also been considered. Okay, the data have revealed broad trends in the learning over the years. So that is there, that is ASER report. Now let's talk about the key highlights of the report itself. Okay, here you can see when we are talking about the children who are in the standard 3 who can read the standard 2's level text. Okay, so basically the class you have passed, that is standard 2, right now you are in the standard 3. So how many of the students are able to read the text from the standard 2? That is basically the quality of education or the learning outputs they are talking about. So when we are talking about the reading, so they have seen that in 2018 it was somewhere around 27.3% for government as well as private you can say schools, and in 2022 it declined to 20.5% because of the COVID related problems, and then in 2024 it is going back up in 27.1%. Okay, so that is there. Now other than that, when we are talking about the government schools over here, you will be seeing that Earlier it was 20.9%, and then it declined to 16.3% and 23.4%. Now we can say that the government schools are doing better over here, because when we are talking about the 2018 data, you will be seeing that they are somewhere around same 27% somewhere. So here it was somewhere around 20.9%, and that has increased to 23.4%. So we can say that the government schools are doing better in this regard. Okay, coming to the next one, second you can say indicator is basically the least subtractions. Okay, a student of class 3 who can do the subtractions or simple subtractions. Okay, so basically what they are trying to do is that they are saying that some small mathematical operations they are able to perform. Okay, so that is there, they have tested it on the subtraction. Okay, so here again you can see in 2018 it was somewhere around 28.2%, which has increased to 33.7%. In COVID time it was somewhere around 25.9%. Okay, so during COVID it declined, and now it is going upwards. Okay, again when we are talking about the government performance over here, you will be seeing that earlier it was 20.9% somewhere around, and then it is 27.6%. so we can say that government schools are performing better in the rural area. Okay, so that is there. Other than that, improvement in the learning outcome, reading and the arithmetic skills of the children from the age 6 to 14 have improved across the state after the COVID-19 slump. That is the thing which we have actually got out of this, and government school have seen the highest improvement, that is also discussed. Now here you can see reading skill growth. I have already told you class 3, class 5 we have seen, and then math skill growth that is also have been seen in the graph. So that is there. Now if you have time, you can go through this particular slide over here. Now here you can see what are the reason behind the growth. We have seen that there is a growth which we have seen, but what are the reason behind the growth? First is that we have come out of the COVID shock. Now schools are open. Okay, so that is one thing. Second, our national education policy. Okay, we have gone for the multidisciplinary education. We have gone for the output based education. Now we are saying that the quality of education should be important. So here you can say national education policy NEP 2020 focus on the foundational literacy and the numeracy. So that is one important factor, because we are focusing on the foundation, and these years or the primary education, that is basically forming the foundation of the children's education. So here we can see that there are positive trends which are visible. Post-COVID recovery, we have already talked about that. Now, government initiative, there are various initiatives like Nipun Bharat Mission, special emphasis on the literacy and the numeracy, and then increased teachers training. When you are increasing the teachers training, you are making sure that teachers are capable of providing the education that will be reflected in the output as well. Okay, so that is the factor which are responsible for the growth. Now, there are some other, you can say, findings which were there with respect to the digital literacy, and it was seen that when we are talking about the age 14 to 16 year, 79.4% people in or the kids in the rural area are using smartphone. Okay, because we are talking about the digital literacy, and because of the COVID, smartphone has been used for the education. So that was the part which has been seen over here, that 79.4% of these kids in the rural India are using the smartphones. Okay, it has also been seen that the boys are having more number 85.5%, and girls are having it, that is 72.3%. so boys are using mobiles more. Obviously there are stereotypical reasons or societal reasons which are there. Okay, other than that, preschool enrollment if we talk about, so for the kids in the age group of 3 to 5 year in the preschool, 40.7% in 2024, which is up from 26.9% in 2018. So that is also a good thing that kids are going to school, the enrollment is increasing. Other than that, sharpest rise in the 5 to 7% old attendees school, that is also 58.5%, which was in 2018, and now it is 74.1%. so these are some of the good indicators you can say which are there. Okay, so this is about the key highlights of the report. Now we are saying that what are the challenges. Okay, so there is still some gap which is there. Why? Because over 30% of the class 3 children still cannot read a class 2's text. Okay, so that is a problem, that still there are people who cannot, still there are kids which are not able to read the previous classes text. Then math skill for class 5 is still below pre-pandemic level, so that is also one of the gap which is there. Private schools are lagging. As I told you, the here government schools are performing good, but private schools are lagging, so that is also a cause of concern. More children shifting to the government schools, reversing the pre-pandemic trends. Government schools seeing improvement, private schools need more focus. Okay, so these are the challenges with respect to the ASER report which has been identified in the ASER report. Now coming to the second article, that is why Greenland's crystal blue lakes are turning brown. Okay, blue lakes, that means that fresh water. Okay, fresh melting water, because Greenland is based on, that there are ice caps which are there, and no doubt there are melting of ice which is being talked about, and now they are turning into brown color. Why is that? We'll be talking about that now. Simple answer, if we talk about, simply what is happening is that because of the rise in the global warming, or the temperature are increasing, and because of which melting is happening. First thing is melting. Second thing is, typically you will be seeing that August to September is the time when Greenland is facing the snowfall. Okay, but what is happening right now is that because of the high temperature rise, there are no snowfall. Now they are going for the rain, precipitation, high rainfall. Okay, now there was this rainfall. Because of the rainfall, you will be seeing that there will be surface running water will be there. So that is one factor. Second thing is, because of the melting, you will be seeing that whatever permafrost frost is there, whatever organic material which is there inside the ice, that is coming out of the ice, and because of the rain, that material is being washed towards the lake. Okay, now simply let's say if there is a glacier, in the ice cap we will be seeing that there is this organic material which is there. Now when this ice is melting, this material is getting exposed because of the rain, that is being washed to the lakes. And since this organic material is going into the lakes, that means that some of the brown color of these organic materials are being transferred to the lakes, which were originally blue in color. Okay, so that is why Greenland's lakes are basically turning blue. Okay, because this time we are seeing that less snowfall is there, high rainfall is there. Okay, so that is why this is the thing which is happening. Very easy article, you can go through this article. There is nothing much to, you can say, understand over here. Because of the climate change, because of the global warming, there are extreme events which are happening. There are events which we did not know has the capabilities to go for such things. Now when we are talking about the carbon sink and the carbon source, so when we talk about the structures like ocean, features like oceans, forests, soil, these are generally considered as the carbon sink. Okay, and one more, ice caps, these are generally considered as, these are carbon sinks. Okay, but what is happening is that because of the extreme events, because of the climate change, now these are basically converting into source as well. If not source, then we are saying that they are losing their capabilities to store the carbon. Okay, so because of which carbon is enhancing in the atmosphere, and ultimately it is harming the atmosphere. Okay, so that is the discussion which has been there in this particular article. Okay, now let's move further to the next one. Images show China building a huge fusion research center in basically there is this you can say place, that is Myanmar. You can remember the name of this place because it was in news, so that is important for you. It is there in China, and there they are going for some kind of fusion research center, and because of which you can say the Western world is concerned that they are enhancing their nuclear capabilities. Okay, so that is the article over here. We'll be talking about that. Over here you can see project overview. If we talk about, China is building a large laser ignited fusion research center in Myanmar. The facility aims to explore nuclear weapon design and the fusion based on the power generation. Okay, so nuclear capacity can be used for the power generation as well, other than that for the weapons as well. So there are high chances that they will be going for the enhancement of their capabilities. The satellite imagery findings, image shows a central experimental bay and 4 outlying arms. Here you can see there is this picture, central you can say here you can see there was this center and there are 4 outlying arms which are there, and it is a picture taken from the satellite view. Okay, the bay will hold a target chamber with hydrogen isotopes for the fusion reaction. Okay, so that is there. Now here you can see this is the location of Myanmar. Now this is Beijing, and this is the, you can say, mainland territory of China. And now here you can see strategic and the security implications, why it is a concern for countries like USA and other Western countries. So structure is similar to the US National Ignition Facility, that is NIF, which is there in California. Similar facilities there in California as well. They are also going for the research in the nuclear field. The research may contribute to China's nuclear weapon capabilities. US analysts warn that the such facility have refined weapon design without actual testing. In 2020, US satellite image revealed similar Chinese nuclear research structures. earlier also there has been these revelation that there are more facilities like that which is there, raises concern over its impact on the global nuclear security and the arms control. Now this is also a concern for India as well, because we are the neighbor, okay, and we do not have any deterrence against China, because we have this no first use policy, okay. So considering that, we do not have this deterrence against China, because both of our neighbor, like be it Pakistan, be it China, both of them are kind of our adversaries, or you can say these are kind of challenging partners which are there. But India is not having a first use policy, and because of which, okay, so that can be there. As a matter of fact, China also does not have a first use policy. They are also saying that they will not go for it. But again, we cannot go and trust China. So that is one of the concern, and because of which it is concern from USA as well as you can say India. Now here you are talking about the ideological review. Trump orders pause to all federal grants and loans. Herein they are basically saying that whatever grants in India also we are having supporting grants which are there, which we gives to the states and the panchayats, etc. So similarly, in the USA also, these federal units are getting, you can say some kind of grant from the, you can say, the central government over there. And recently, Mr. Trump has said that they will be going for the ideological review. They have said that for the grants like for the education and the health and research, etc. So for that, they will go for the, you can say, some kind of overhaul, and for any kind of conservative activity, they will not be giving that kind of grant. So that is there, which has been discussed over there. Not much important for from our point of view, because in exam, domestic, you can say the politics of USA will not be asked. Here, one thing is there: President orders pave way for the ban on the transgender troops. Okay, you know that Mr. Trump has said that there will be only two sex, one is male and second will be female, and now he is saying that there will be a ban on the transgender troops. In USA's troops, there is this you can say service can be provided by the transgenders as well, but now they are saying that there this particular troops will be banned, and that is some kind of societal aspect you can attach to it. And actually they are saying that they are going back to the traditional gender norms. Okay, so basically they are supporting the traditional stereotypical gender norms, so that is a regressive step, but again they are going for it. Then Trump threatens tariff on India, among the others harm America. So that is there, that for China or America, China or you can say India, which are having some kind of tariffs, okay, or you can say these are considered as a tariff king by Donald Trump. So basically they are saying that, or you can say that simply, if USA is having some kind of deficit with any country, they are putting forward these tariffs. So these things has been talked about various times, so we will not have to worry much about it. It was just a passing reference for you. Now moving further, presumption is husband is the father, child born in the valid marriages, says the Supreme Court. There was this application by a husband that child born out of a marriage over there, he said that he is not his child, and that is why there should be a DNA test. Okay, so court here said that there is a right to privacy of the child as well, and this will have a sway on child's mental health. That is why they have declined the petition. Okay, so what Supreme Court said in this judgment, let's see. A child born with a within a valid marriage is presumed to be legitimate offspring of the couple. Okay, it is presumed until unless you have an evidence which says otherwise, it will be presumed that he is the legitimate child, and you don't have to go for any kind of DNA test for that. If you have some kind of evidence which says that or you can say you can produce such evidence which says that says otherwise, in that case there can be a chance, but otherwise DNA test is not a norm in India. Okay, then this presumption can only be rebutted with an evidence proving the husband is not the father. There should be an evidence proving that. The Supreme Court of India reaffirmed the principle while rejecting a plea for DNA test in a paternity case over here. The court relied on section 112 of the Indian Evidence Act 1872, which states that the legitimacy is presumed unless proven otherwise. Okay, so they are saying that that child will be legitimate unless it is proven otherwise. Court must protect the child's right to privacy and dignity when evaluating a request for DNA test. Ordering a DNA test can disproportionately harm the child's interest over here and the social status. There will be some kind of stigma which can be attached to that. Court should only allow DNA test if other evidence is insufficient to determine the legitimacy. There must be a careful assessment to ensure no undue harm is there to the child or the family dynamics. Okay, so that is there. The judgment emphasized the need to respect the privacy and the fundamental right under Article 21, that is right to privacy, which has been upheld again in this law, that if you cannot go for DNA test in the petty matters, if there is a evidence, then only the legitimacy can be challenged, and it has to be make sure that DNA test does not put any kind of negative impact on the family dynamics or the mental health of the child. Okay, so that is there. This is the, you can say, something which has been upheld again. Okay, now coming to the next article, which is talking about the DeepSeek. Okay, so there is this startup in China which has come up with a you can say rival, or you can say an alternative to the Chat GPT, which has been built by OpenAI of USA. Okay, now they are saying that this DeepSeek is affordable, more efficient, etc., etc., and because of which they are concerned, because last time when we checked, it was USA has stopped the export of the chips to, you can say, China. Okay, when we talk about Nvidia is some kind of having a monopoly over the chip business. Okay, and that is a USA based company, and USA said that we will not be exporting chips to China, and ultimately because of which what has happened is that we are China has proven again that they do not need such kind of things from others. They are capable enough on their own. Okay, so that has been you can say the concern for USA. So top USA AI developers companies rush to analyze DeepSeek's low cost models. They are saying that these are low cost, that means that these are affordable. Okay, when we are talking about the Chat GPT is kind of considered costly. Other than that also, you can say that this is the kind of, it is having some kind of monopoly in the market right now. When we are talking about the various AI tools, Chat GPT is kind of you can say having a most efficient tool, you can say right now. Okay, so considering that, now there is a, you can say, competitor, and that is why they are, going to analyze the low cost models. DeepSeek's AI should be a wake up call to the US industry, says Trump. Okay, so that is also there. Then DeepSeek Sputnik movement. They are basically saying that this is the Sputnik movement, or the kind of movement, or you can say it is kind of a you can say the biggest revolution which is there in the AI industry right now. Okay, 5 ways in which US China AI race plays out for India. So there are implications on India as well. So we will be seeing that Chinese startup DeepSeek's launch of its latest AI models, which says are on par with or better than the industry leading models in the United States at the fraction of cost, and is threatening to upset the technology world order. Okay, so basically they are saying that it is on the fraction of cost, and it is at par or better than the Chat GPT, which is basically US based you can say AI tool which is there. DeepSeek's AI assistants powered by the DeepSeek V3 have overtaken the rival ChatGPT to become the top rated free application which is available on the Apple Store as well as in the United States. Okay, so that is the concern for USA right now. Here you can say India's strategic assessment, PM Modi's upcoming visit to Paris and the Washington are pivotal for the evaluating India's role in the US-China AI race. You know that there is this AI summit is happening, and India is basically a co-chair in that summit. Okay, and India is also a country which is aspiring for the technology sector. So that is why we have to assess the situation very with a deep concern as well. DeepSeek's R1 impact. China's AI assistant DeepSeek R1 is compared to the Sputnik movement, showcasing China's advance in the frontier technology and challenging the US's dominance. Technological rivalry. If we talk about the US-China competition is reshaping global tech landscape, with China investing heavily in AI and related fields. So that is there. Coming to the next one, opportunities for India. What are the opportunities for India over here? India must collaborate with the allies like USA and develop AI tools over here, because obviously if China is taking a, you can say, a step like this, China is moving forward, then we have to be very cautious, because when we talk about technology right now, AI, data, and when we talk about the space sector, these are somewhere we are doing good. When we talk about space and all, we are doing good, but we should make sure that we do not lose that ground. Okay, so that is there. So here it is an opportunity, because US is also trying to take over the China's dominance in the technology. So like-minded countries like USA, Japan, South Korea, they can come together and they can build better AI capabilities while balancing the national interest and the global cooperation. Okay, so that is there. Now, AI as a global concern, responsible AI development and the preventing misuse are critical at the geopolitical AI race. Now, when we are talking about AI is not yet fully regulated. Okay, so that means that we should go for the regulation as well. Now, if a country like China is going for such development, we have to make sure that at par there is a regulation framework which is also there. Okay, so on that front also, global politics or the global geopolitics should be considering the regulation of the AI as well. Coming to the next one, India's challenges. Limited investment compared to the US and China required India to adopt innovative strategies and leverage partnership. Global collaborations, if we talk about historical parallels like US Russia cooperation during the Cold War, suggest importance of the collaborative approach to AI for the humanity's benefit. That is their future path for India. India should focus on policy clarity, strategic alliance, and ethical AI use to secure its position in the AI driven global order. This is something basic which is there, which you can mention, answer writing. So this, you can say, this can be a good conclusion for you as well. Okay, so that is that India should focus on the ethical part of the AI, and we have to go for the better alliances and the investment, so that we can we should not be left behind in the race. Okay. Coming to the next one, for your own read, there is this article, ASER 2024 enrollment up and what's ahead for early childhood education. We have talked about this particular elements over here. If you are interested, you can go through this. Otherwise, you can skip this. But if let's say if we talk about free time, you can read this article, because this is written in a very good words over here. Now, the question which was given to you in the last session, Lezim is a traditional folk dance form associated with state Punjab, Maharashtra, Gujarat, and Kerala. Option B is your right answer. Lezim. Yesterday we have talked about it, and Lezim and the Chava controversy. And now, last part, that is basically your question for today's practice. What recent development in AI is compared to the Soviet Union's Sputnik movement? Options are given. You can attempt the question and answer to me in the comment box. With that, I would like to take your leave. I'll see you in the next session. Till then, have a nice day. Thank you, and please subscribe the channel.